G'day invaders and welcome to Sin Spacies, and this is a podcast. We've got, yes, another bloody gaming podcast here, number 3, and for this video we've got guests. We have got Poseidon from Carbon Knights Gaming.
Hello.
And we've also got Uncle Chunt.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. And we've also got Kaiser from, is it Kaiser Gaming or Kaiser Retro Reviews you got there?
Just Retro Kaiser.
Retro Kaiser. So sorry. Oh my god. That's the second video in a row that I have butchered one of the guest names. I'm doing awesome. So because we've got 2 new guests here, because Poseidon's already been on once before, we're going to start with Chunt. Sorry, just going to switch over to you, matey. We've got intro questions that we always ask newcomers to this podcast. We're going to start with the first console and the first game you had on that console.
Oh, well, it was a tumultuous morning, Christmas Day. We just got 2 kittens and out comes a box that was a Mega Drive. And it was the Altered Beast in-box, like box-in copy version. So I think I was like, I don't know, 6. I can't remember how old I was. But yeah, that was our first console ever in the household. And Altered Beast, that was amazing. And we got Fantasia as well.
Oh, rough start. Fantasia.
I actually liked it. Man, we loved that game. I love that.
It got panned. Got panned quite hard. Did you end up calling the cats Mega and Drive, or
No, it's Spooky Bandit.
Okay. And your favorite game of all time?
Look, times have changed, but look, my go-to is probably Gears of War, the first one. That is a special place in my heart. It was just one of those holy moly moments of this is next gen on 360. When you finally played one of those games that just makes you go, wow, like this is the next step. And I've loved that franchise ever since. So Gears all the way.
Yeah, that got a lot of people turning their heads when the Xbox 360 came out, and even the former CEO of Sega, who turned into Xbox CEO, made a few references to that moment as well when he saw Gears of War for the first time. So yeah, definitely a game that goes down in history for that one.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but Gears of War never impressed me one bit.
That's all right. It's okay to hate a game.
It's not for everybody.
It's okay to hate a game.
I don't hate the game. It just didn't impress me. When I saw it play, I was just like, this looks like a straight up rip off of Resident Evil 4.
All right. Well, I'm yet to play Resident Evil 4. That's gonna be
younger and stupider at the time. So
that's going to be a game I'm playing next on the GameCube, actually, for my channel. So I will get back to you. I will get back to you with an answer on that. But back to Chunt, what are you currently playing?
Destiny 2, Cuphead failing miserably, but I still love it.
Why do you?
And
do
Mario
it to
Odyssey. Mario Odyssey we'll probably talk about a bit later, but yeah. And I've yet to boot up my copy of Assassin's Creed Origins, but that's next.
All right,
you
then.
can pet kittens in that one.
Ooh.
Yay.
That got the response it deserved. So, Retro Kaiser, same goes for you, the first console and game.
Well, I was 4 years old, so this would have been back in 1994. Yes, I'm one of the younger ones on this. At least I assume
we've already been over this with previous guests. It's okay.
But it was 1994. My dad went to the video rental shop. It wasn't anything special. It was just like some little local one, and he came back with a Sega Master System, because you could rent Master Systems, and they came in their own. I don't know if anyone remembers the old snap case that they came in for the rentals.
Yes. I had 2 of them, and I've lost them over the years. But I know the ones you're talking about with the little blue Sega logo latches.
Yep, the foam.
Oh, that foam one that I saw Nintendo one back in the day.
Nice.
And so what was the game on that? I think I already know.
We didn't bring any cartridges with us, because with the Master System you didn't need cartridges. So I turned it on, and the first game I played was Sonic the Hedgehog,
That
the
was
Master System version.
That was not the answer I was expecting. I was
You
expecting you to
expecting
say
Alex Kidd, weren't
Alex
you?
Kidd. Yes,
Alex the Kid, yeah.
Yeah.
it's not the Kid. Oh my God, don't!
It's always Alex the Kid.
It's not the Kid.
I know.
Oh no, it
but it's
wasn't.
always
It wasn't
Alex's
that
Kid.
model.
Grind my
Surprisingly,
gears,
it
why
was-
don't you?
Yeah. It was the Hedgehog model. Although I did play the Alex Kidd one much later and loved that. Well, not much later, like later that year, and I did love that game. And of course, it was the old version where he ate the hamburger instead of the rice bowls.
I actually played that on cartridge before it was a packing game. So,
Ooh.
and that's kind of what got me the job on Sega Hotline, was the fact that I had completed it. And they asked me, "Have you played Alex Kidd and Miracle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I finished it." "You're hired," because that was the most called for game. So yeah, your favorite game of all time?
Has to be a fighting game, actually, a Capcom fighting game. Capcom versus SNK2 for the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, I forgot that here.
Nice.
Yep, I just happen to have a pirated version right now.
Arr, arr, give me matey.
Hang on, this is as authentic. It's just C versus SNK. I like that. Yeah, I was playing that on the Dreamcast video just before.
That's a good version, that one.
Yeah, I love that. So you're mentioning the Dreamcast version, so that's extra bonus points for you for that.
Quickly. I got the special.
What have you got there? What's that? Capcom.
Gotta move them. It's a special bonus disc
Alrighty.
for Capcom vs SNK2.
Sorry, my Japanese
It
is a bit
includes
rusty.
Yeah. Although probably best to show the disc design. Stupid microphone in the way, but
Yeah, I did love the presentation on that game, the crisscross design for
Oh.
the play select screen. It was pretty cool.
the overly excited announcer.
Yeah. Oh, what was it you
disc
said?
contain?
Are you ready for the next? I can't remember the slogans that he used to come up with, but yeah. So anyway, currently playing. What do you got on your agenda at the moment?
I'm currently playing Dragon Quest Heroes for the PC, which is a Dynasty Warrior style Dragon Quest game. Like one of the side games, like not one of the main Dragon Quest
grind
games.
away till you raise your level.
Grind.
Yeah.
And I'm also playing the original Dragon Warrior,
Dragon Warrior.
the NES one.
Oh wow, he's
That's
going right
different.
back.
That's what the English name for Dragon Quest was back then.
Yeah, and that was before, I guess, the copyright or something. There was a copyright issue with getting the Dragon Quest name. I think it was a D&D game that had the same licensing. That's why they couldn't do it. And yeah, so that takes care of the intro questions. And if you want to find out what Poseidon's answers were, you'll have to just go to the previous video because he's already answered those. Or have you just changed your currently playing games?
No, not yet. Although I'm thinking of buying Slime Rancher because it looks fun, but it hasn't changed yet.
Slime. Okay, I will have to check out what that is. I
It's
have
like
not.
this cute little. A grown man probably shouldn't be playing it, but it's adorable.
That was free on Xbox
And
the
like-
other month.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Is that like
I was thinking of it for PC.
an adult shouldn't be playing Animal Crossing? There's a video online about it, how they were accusing adults of preying on or predating online with Animal Crossing, and this sheriff says no adult has any valid reason to play that. They are sick.
Good fun. It's wasted time.
All right, so
That's kind of like Slime Rancher. It's always been that
so we're going to
genre of games.
get into the first question for the video, and this is in regards to loot crates and gambling, or is it innocent fun? Now, just recently, I think it was EA have just announced that they were canning that Star Wars single-player game because it was just too linear, and everyone knows that they're more sort of pushing towards a multiplayer loot crate fest game that's just gonna, I don't know, really really be on the nose, I think, for most gamers. I might start with you, Chunter. What's your take on loot crates? Is it gambling or is it innocent fun? Has it got a place in gaming? I don't think we have much of a choice, though.
It's gambling seen as an innocent fun method. I don't like it. I don't believe it has any place. My problem with the loot box trend that's happening now is the random aspect of it. I don't have an issue if we had to stomach it. I wouldn't have too much of an issue if we could just buy the thing that we wanted, not have to buy a crate to randomly generate something and hope to get it. That's gambling. That's just like the slot machines and hoping you get a jackpot. There's no other way to slice it. The moment some of my favorite franchises start really heavily implementing this stuff, and Gears of War 4 has some of it, but it's all cosmetic. It doesn't actually affect the gameplay. Halo 5 started doing it. And if I see any more of that happening in some of my most favorite franchises, I'm more than likely to walk away and try something else. And if it's going to be more commonplace as we go forward, I'd be more than welcome to just walk away from gaming for a while until it disappears. That's how strongly I feel about it. It's just absolute garbage.
Anyone else got something to share on that?
Well, I personally don't think it's gambling. Well, I can see why people think it's gambling, but to me, it's about as much gambling as buying like a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering in hopes of getting like a rare card. So it's just like buying like trading card packs, which actually I don't mind like buying like trading card packs if it was a trading card game, but I don't think it has a place in this. It's just a sign of greed, unnecessary greed.
I personally think, though, that if they do introduce this loot crate into games, they've got to make it so that, because I think it's Japan, loot crate systems must, by law, have a disclaimer showing what the odds are of you getting what each item is.
Yeah.
So, in other words, they're regulated there, and whereas everywhere else in the world, there's no regulations. So, I think that if it is not self-regulated, but there is actually something in place that says if you have this item, you must declare what are the odds of getting that item. Then I don't think it's too much of an issue. Then that way you are going into it full aware of what your odds are of getting that shiny item that it is that you're trying to track down in the game. I'm personally not. It's not the light bulb to me being the moth for me. It doesn't attract me at all in one way at all. I'm more of a single player retro gamer, but I do touch on the modern games. But just this side of modern gaming, it's not something that really personally interests me. What about you, Poseidon? What do you think about the whole thing?
Well, I might be the wrong person to talk to about it because I think loot crates are stupid. Like just the whole idea. I play actually Summoner's War on my phone. I played it for like 2 or 3 years. I've never bought anything on it, and they have that's their microtransactions. It's not exactly loot crates, but I also play a lot of Rocket League, and I know obviously Battle Beast on our channel. He's made videos opening loot crates and stuff. Which I mean, no offense to Beast, I love the guy. He's one of my best friends, but I wouldn't watch that video if it wasn't on our channel. It doesn't interest me at all, but. I was watching the Funhouse podcast the other day, and they were talking about it. And it sounds like the reason that the states ruled that it wasn't gambling is because you don't lose. You always get something. But I think what they don't understand is if you get the same crappy skin you're going to 15 times,
yeah, you're going to invest.
Absolutely lost.
Of course you'll lose because you're going to be putting in more and until you get that item. Remember the old twist turns like in Shenmue, the twist turn machines, you get the capsules and they show you on the front which ones you can get. You'll go through buying 10 of them until you get the one that you're after. It's kind of a similar principle except times it by 100.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I don't get it. When I have a big problem with them and I avoid games where you can purchase a loot crate and you can get stuff in those purchased loot crates that will give you an edge in the game.
Yeah.
But like if you just get like Overwatch does it right, it seems, where it's all just cosmetic and none of it matters. So I never have to care about the loot crates in Overwatch if I play. Whereas if I was playing like probably something from EA, I would have to care about loot boxes, and it would piss me off.
Yeah, I think Rocket League is one of the games that gets it right. It doesn't, by you buying into the whole loot crate system, you're not going to get any advantages over any of the other cars. Everyone's on a level playing field, and those loot crate items are just for mere decorations to your cars. So
the only problem I have with the Rocket League one, is that you have to buy the keys. You can't open them without buying the keys, as far as I know. Unless they've changed it recently. That
is annoying. They show you, they say, hey, you just won this, but if you really want to use it, you've got it, but if you want to use it, you have to buy in. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. But I guess that stops you from going in blind, buying loot crates, not winning what you're after. You can then go in and you're winning the chance to buy DLC. Does that make sense?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ones like Counter-Strike Go and other stuff that's on Steam, to where if you get some from a loot crate, you can sell it on the Steam marketplace for Steam credit? What do you think about those types of loots?
As long as it doesn't get out of hand,
gambling.
If people are willing to pay for it, it's a buyer's market. You don't have to go there and buy those items, I guess, is the my approach on that.
There's always someone willing to buy them. Like, you can buy them on. People sell codes on eBay for these kinds of items, or the option to buy out loot crates online. You can buy them. Like, there's actual systems and portals that you can go to buy these kinds of things as real world money. Like, I don't. If I had to stomach all this random loot box stuff, if I can earn the credits in game to buy one of them. I go back to Gears of War 4 as an example, just because that's in my wheelhouse, where you can play multiplayer all you like, and you're earning credits every match, and those credits can go towards buying a loot crate rather than using real-world money, but you have the option to use real-world money. But if I had to do it, I'd rather just play the game to earn the credits, and if I really wanted to, I can use those credits to open a box and see what I get. But the good thing about that is, with Gears 4, if you earn enough and get enough cards for like character skins, gun skins, there's nothing that affects the gameplay. It's just purely cosmetic. You can dismantle those and they turn into more credits that you can actually put towards buying something that you actually really want. And like, that's a good way around that I'm okay in playing with. Like, I had enough credits to buy a whole bunch of crates, and I opened heaps of stuff. I got some cool things. Everything else that I didn't want, I dismantled them. And there was an old man Marcus Phoenix skin that I really, really wanted, and it was like a legendary card or something. And I needed X amount of credits. So I broke it all down and some weapon skins for him, and I'm good to go. I don't need anything else because I got what I want. That's a model that I can work with. But it's when you can't have those options and you just have to keep buying random crates over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's when it starts. That's when it starts to become gambling straight up.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the loot crate system, to be quite honest. I will buy into DLC if it is a new track, or if it is a new map, or something, a new chapter in the game. That's when I will start handing out money and buying more DLC. But
like
when
a season pass.
Yeah, even a season pass is a little bit. I hate the term season pass, because basically you buy a game, you expect to get a full-fledged game, but these days you are getting when you buy a game, it sounds like you're just buying the pass to then get access to buy all the DLC.
But if you bought the season pass, it works out, depending on the game, of course, it works out to be cheaper to buy the season pass than each DLC content individually. So that's kind of why I'm just like, well, if I had the choice.
You're buying a season pass and you're not entirely sure if the DLC that they're going to release you're going to be into. And also when you're buying a season pass, you're not really entirely sure you're going to be liking that game straight up.
No. Well, another example, Final Fantasy 15, right? I love Final Fantasy 15. I haven't finished it yet. I'm only up to chapter 5. But now that I've had enough time away from it, all this DLC stuff's come out, like
Yeah.
all this episodic stuff.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, wow, cool. And there's a season pass. So now I'm more inclined to be like, well, when I go back, I'll pick up the season pass because then I've got all this extra stuff to play. And I'm okay with doing that rather than buying it individually.
I'm much lazy when it comes to that. I just wait until a gold edition of a game comes out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Either that or when it goes on sale for super cheap for all the DLCs.
Yeah, if that happens, I mean, you got games like from Nintendo. Nintendo never reduced their titles, so that's not an option for Switch owners. Anyway, we'll move on to the next topic. I think we pretty much agree that loot crates, it's a bit murky. It's not really the nicer part of gaming. Yeah, but yeah, with something a little bit more different with consoles. Now, just recently, I put out my Dreamcast video. I look back on a system that's released now, oh my god, 17 years ago or more. That's crazy. Yeah, I still remember when the Dreamcast was a thing, so it makes me feel old. But the fact that the systems are now aging is that they're starting to break down. The CD drives or the GD drives on the Dreamcast, for example, are breaking down, and the lenses are not picking up the data properly, which leads people to start modding their consoles. Now, there's SD card slots available, so you can just install a stack of games onto an SD card and put it into the SD slot, and then you're good to go. So what my question here is, has anyone ever had to either repair a console, or have you ever modded a console? Any takers at all here with this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have had to repair a console manually before, and sometimes when you have a Dreamcast, it starts flashing on and off, that problem.
That's what I just went through. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. I was worried that I had to send it to a repairman or buy it myself, until a friend told me that I could just crack it open, and all I needed to do was just clean a little thing, and it would have worked correctly.
6 little things, 6 pins, I think it was. And yeah, I just went through that. I'm putting my video together, and Shenmue kept resetting, and I thought it was the disc itself at first, and then it turns out that yeah, after a bit of YouTubing, etc., searching online, you have to pull it apart, take the power supply out, clean it, bend the pins just so slightly, and then install it again. And that worked. So that was an easy fix. But there are other systems I've got here. The Sega Dreamcast is just one of them. The Sega Saturn, it's also dying after an hour of usage. The Mega Drive itself flashes after an hour of usage as well. So ironically enough, the Nintendo consoles don't seem to be breaking down as quickly. They gotten yellow though, that's another thing. Anyone else here got a Super Nintendo?
I do. It's in a bag somewhere.
What color is it?
In grey, darker grey, and slightly yellow.
It has yellowed.
Too.
Well, I remember back in the day with the PlayStation 1. Our first model PlayStation 1 back in the day was having like disc read errors. So eventually we took it to a local dude who managed to repair the laser, but he also put in a chip for us.
Oh, yes.
And we could, so that was really the only time I've actually modded or had anything modded to a console I've owned. But just while we're on the topic of Dreamcast, just got to represent.
Ah, nice.
I've actually got a
got my own
console right next to me right now, although I can't reach it. It's a Wii. It's modded to where it's actually a good system now.
What was it before?
Wow.
So, like I can play like. So like it's just loaded with like stuff
game.
like. Oh! Thank you for throwing it my way.
What are we looking at? Ah! Okie dokie. Alright, so no one else has had a modification done on a console, or is there a console that you would like to mod? Any takers?
Xbox, original classic Xbox. I'd like to get around to modding one day.
Amen to that. Yeah, I want to get
I
mine
had a
done.
buddy with one of those. It was awesome. I actually repair. We have a train going through. That's why I was muted there for a minute.
Oh,
But,
right.
so sorry if that's coming through the mic. But
That's all good. It adds to
I'd
the
love to get
ambience.
I know it's not really a mod per se, but I'd love to get into painting consoles. I think that looks like a lot of fun. It's just finding the time. And other
customize your
than
own.
I've never had anything modded, but I have. I repair PS2s all the time. Because I resell stuff. Don't worry, I'm not one of those jerks who buys a mini classic and marks it up to $300. I wouldn't do that. But like I'll buy a used PlayStation with a bunch of games from people, and they'll give me a good price because they're like, "Well, the PS2 doesn't work." I'm like, I'll take it anyway, whatever. And I'll take it home and just flip the little gear a little bit, and good to go. I do that all the time. I think 5 PS2s right now. I've done.
I do have a Xbox One that needs a bit of tender loving care, and the Duke controller. It was the beast and the best. It was sitting in a storage for years because I'd never touched it for ages because we got the Xbox 360, which was backward limited compatible, and it went moldy. It got the rubber controllers got a bit decayed, and so now I need to get that controller fixed. And I want to fix it because it is such a classic controller. Everyone puts shit on it all the time, but everyone complains that it's too big. But I actually enjoyed having a humongous controller.
Love the Duke. Love it. I got 4 of them over there. One
Four
or
of them.
two I need. Yeah, 2 of them I need to replace the sticks on, but there's 2 in particular I've kept in really good nick. I just love that Duke, and I can't wait for the new one to come out.
And it didn't dawn on me.
Here.
It didn't dawn on me until just recently that the black and the light button or the white button, they were basically just shifted to become the shoulder buttons. I didn't even think about that. Which I guess they replaced that light button, which used to be the light for Halo, used to be the white button, and they just replaced it, I think, with the shoulder button. Yeah.
Well, with the new Xbox One version coming out, the new Duke, it has the white and black buttons on it, but it actually has bumpers as well, so you don't have to worry about that.
That thing's going to be super expensive.
I don't care.
I absolutely hated the.
I don't care.
I absolutely hated the smaller re-release Xbox controller because it was like, it doesn't fit my hand correctly. And why did they move the black and white buttons to the bottom? It's in an awkward spot.
They were only trying to redo that to try and win over the Japanese market, and we all know how that went.
Exactly.
Which was such a shame.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Japanese, why they are so anti-Xbox. It just doesn't make sense to me. You do see it in their shops. It's in every shop, but it's such a token little display, and I don't ever see anyone looking at it. So.
Well, it's because it's a Western outsider competition. That's why. Japanese are very kind of supportive of their own. Not so much outside of Western influence like other companies. I mean, why would they take up and support Xbox and outside a company when they have Sony and their own Nintendo and all that? It's just all that kind of... It's racist, It's racist. Nah, just kidding.
Well, I was kind of thinking that, actually, when I was over there, that these guys are just anti-Yanks. I don't get any other reason why they are so... But maybe your version is probably more to the point where they're just more supporting their own market.
Business decision, supporting their own.
Sam, you were going to say something there before, sorry.
Yes, I was going to say it reminds me of watching a episode of Game Center CX a few years ago when it was touring where the main guy, I forget his name, he was touring shots and he just happened to go into like a little shop and he saw like 2 imported Xbox original games. It was like, what the? It's like the section is so small, and of course it was a Japanese version of the Hulk game for original Xbox. And it was called something like the Jolly Green Giant, or like the the Green Giant.
No.
And he was complaining and the thing that was funny, he was Japanese, and even he was complaining, it's not the Jolly Green Giant, it's the Hulk.
Yeah, even when I was there in Osaka, I went to the Super Potato Store, and they had some Xbox One titles. Sorry, OG or original Xbox titles sitting there. So that was weird to see that. But just seeing any Xbox titles is just weird over in Japan. To be honest, it's a bit sad. It's so quiet over there.
I love that console so much.
The original, yeah,
so good.
I got to test out the backward compatibility though with Xbox One. I still haven't. I haven't seen a game released here locally yet that makes me want to look at that. Except
Crimson Skies, man.
Maybe.
I love Crimson Skies.
I'm gonna have to test
so
it out. No, but what was it? There was the Star Wars Republic of.
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic.
But that's not locally.
Awesome.
But that's not available locally yet. I looked on there and it wasn't showing up as downloadable, so we'll have to see how that pans out. Well, we've got one more little topic here to touch on, and someone here I think has got more to say about this than others. So this year seems to be the year of Nintendo, so all the Nintendo fanboys are coming out of the cupboards, and they're back on internet being vocal even more now than they were during the Wii U era. You couldn't hear from them because there was really not much being released that got the world excited. I love my Wii U. It's got a bit of dust on it, but console. But it is a good console despite the haters. It's just that it was marketed very poorly. I don't buy into the whole, the Wii U name was the reason why it was a failure, because if you look at Xbox One, that's a really atrocious name in my opinion. But it's still doing okay, not as well as PlayStation 4, but still doing all right. But this brings us to the topic of criticism, and every time you go to criticize a Nintendo title or game or release, out come the fanboys. So they will do anything they can to stop their precious, beautiful gaming choice being given any sort of critique at all. Now, Chunt, you had a bit of an experience with this recently. Go into some details about that.
Yeah, I'm still having that experience.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, so I put down Mario Odyssey. I was playing it. I'm up to like my 8th world or something, some snow planet. I don't know, snow area of the Earth. And look, it hasn't quite enthralled me as much as Galaxy 1 and 2. Mario 64, obviously, Mario Land on 3DS, 3D World, 3D Land, whatever it is on the 3DS. I love that. And the new Mario Brother games, the new side scroller reboot ones, I really like those as well, because they actually have some creative and challenging platforming elements. Now, I made a critique about Mario Odyssey saying that it's a bit ho-hum, that it's a bit boring. It's not kind of giving me the challenge I expected from a Mario game. It's basically you're just fetching moons, and that's all you're really doing. There's no kind of really challenging aspects to the levels, in my regard anyway. So I posted that onto Nintendo America, and I think at my last count I have like 529 notifications. People just saying just all kinds of stuff like, you're just a hater. Why don't you go play another game? You're an adult playing a kid's game. Why are you playing Mario? Why don't you finish the game first before you can critique anything? Rah, rah, rah. And I'm just like, my equation response for that was saying, like, these are the same people that were saying, why don't you play Final Fantasy 13? Because it gets good after the 22nd hour. I mean, you shouldn't have to play a game for that long before it's good, So that's my opinion on it. I'm playing it. I'm going to finish it. I love Mario just as much as I love Sonic. But this is the first Mario game in a long time that's disappointed me. I mean, come on. That's a good track record. I even enjoy Mario Run on the iOS.
Nah, you're a hater. You're a hater.
Yeah,
You critique one game, you're a hater.
Yeah. So like, I'm still getting flogged by it. Like, oh, just why don't you get to the end game content? It gets better. And I'm like, well, I shouldn't have to get to the end of the game for it to be good. Like,
all right,
I don't know. It's just...
I do have a bit of a thing to add to that. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U was a highlight for me in that year when that game came out. It's at 2015 now, isn't it? And you did have to play through 20 hours of that game before the game really opened up, and you got your skill license to allow you to fly. And really, I guess that's like the equivalent of Link being able to climb items. You couldn't climb the mountains in that game, but as soon as you got your skill license, you didn't care about any of that. You could just fly around and go all over the world at your own leisure. I'm still yet to finish that game. I've got to get stuck into it. But that was one example where, you did have to spend at least 20 or more hours in the game before it really opened up and unlocked its true potential. And everyone, you're right, everyone keeps going on about Final Fantasy when you get to that particular level that they all go on about. When you get up to that level, though, it is super hard. There is one part, and you just give up wanting to continue on because, as with every Final Fantasy game that I have ever played, I always get up to one boss. They just wipe the floor with you, and I just throw my controller and rage quit every single time. Yeah. Anyone else had an experience with Final Fantasy similar to that, or am I alone?
Oh, definitely. I spent hours grinding on this one little island, like, hey, I can take the boss now. Get killed in one move. Ah!
Yeah, that happened to me in Final Fantasy VIII. There's this big monster that takes the one girl party member. I don't remember her name. Anyway, it takes her, and you can't just nuke the boss because you'll kill her too.
Is that the spider?
I don't know what it is. Like, it's some tall thing. I don't think it might be a spider, maybe.
There was a space. I remember you get up to a space station or something, part of it, and then you get to fight up against this spider, and it just whips your butt, and you just end up, throwing a controller. And I think every Final Fantasy game has got up to a point like that where I've just given up.
I think that's typical of JRPGs or JRPGs, whatever the hell they are, in general. Like Lost Odyssey on the Xbox 360, I got to a point, I was getting towards the end of the game, and it was like a brick wall just slammed right into me. Like, I was going all right for the rest of the game, and then just bam. Like, you're going to have to stop here and grind for hours and hours and hours until you can get past. And I was like, you know what? I just can't. This is the fourth disc. I just can't do it anymore.
Did you buy that, or did you get that for free?
Oh, I bought it at launch. I was really hyped for it. I really enjoyed the
game.
I got it for free as well.
Because about, what was it, 6 months ago now, they gave that game out for free, and man, that not many people spoke about it, and that was such an awesome title to just give out for free. You didn't, if I remember correctly, you didn't even need to be a gold member. They just gave it out as a freebie.
Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, it's a great game. Great game.
So any more comments on anyone else had any experiences with fanboys in general, but in particular Nintendo fanboys? They're the most zealot of the lot. Anyone else had an experience?
Sadly, I have. Well, I say sadly I haven't, but no, thankfully I haven't.
Sadly, I'm looking forward to my first Nintendo attack.
Well, all my friends were all Sega fanboys, and we would always rip on Nintendo. Like, Virtual Waste is so much better looking than Star Fox ever is.
In Australia, we did, it depends on which era you grew up, but I mean, in the early 90s, late 80s, it was definitely pro Sega here. We were, when I say we, I say like from an ex-Sega employer, we were just killing it. And I just happened to be lucky enough to be working in that time when it looked like Sega couldn't do any wrong. But as soon as I left, that's when they started having the wheels fall off with all these stupid add-ons like the 32X and there's the Uranus and all these other stupid add-ons that they were going to plan for that system. The Mega CD on paper was a good idea, but having it sold at launch at $699, not a good idea. $699. You actually had to own. You actually had to own the Mega Drive to get to play. So that all up. was about $1,000
I know,
worth of kit.
My dad, back in '96, we were excited because we went back from Big W, and we got we got the Sega CD. You know, it came with the Road Avenger. Like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. We unboxed it. Where's the bloody Mega Drive?
Oh, really? You fell for that? Oh no! How good was the Road Avenger intro?
I wouldn't know because it didn't come with a bloody system.
You never bought a Mega Drive?
I did. Well, I didn't have a Mega Drive at the time.
I thought you would have corrected that years later, perhaps. If you ever get a chance.
Oh no, we got a refund for that thing.
Oh, jeez, I wish I knew. I would have liked the Sega. That was the Model 2 model, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because I got my Model 1 on staff discount for $420, down from the $699, which was still a huge amount of money, but that was a discount. I sold my CD player to get the money for that too. Well, that pretty much is all the topics we've got here for today. We seem to have gotten through those pretty quickly. Anyone got anything coming up on their channels they want to plug? Chunt, yourself?
Oh, look, I'm still getting sorted after moving, man. I don't have an office set up at the moment. This is my spare room with all my collectibles, and I'm sitting on the floor.
I like all the posters you got up there. It's a good look. No, I was not going to mention it until you said it. I know your room.
It's going to be a while.
Your room's going to be ending up looking stupendous when it is finished. I'm just. It's loading. Please wait.
Oh man, I can't wait. Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Retro Kaiser, what about yourself? Where can we find you?
You can find me at Retro Kaiser. It's just the name. I'm the only one there, hopefully.
When you say there, sorry,
YouTube.
You're talking YouTube, sorry, yes?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can also look at me on VidMe. Actually, the website that I work for called The Next Round.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got a VidMe channel for that. I think it's just called The Next Round on VidMe.
Okay.
Where I just post stuff from me, a guy called Darabka who talks about, he likes some old games, Critical Failure who does Tiger Claw Radio, Alex Swinger who likes to poop on stuff.
He likes to what?
Not literally pulls down his pants, and he's like got more of like the unpopular opinions guy.
Oh, poop on stuff. Right, sorry. I didn't quite catch what you said, but okay. Well, I'll be playing a bit of a scary one here with Resident Evil. Hang on, I'll get myself up on camera there. Yeah, I've got Resident Evil coming up on the channel. Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. Would you sort it yourself out there, Karen? That's coming up on the channel. And also, I will want to get started my Life in Gaming series, starting back from 1984. Go away. 1974. I'm not that young. 1974. Each game of the year for every year up until 2017 and onwards. It's just a matter of getting started with that. You can go to hell. Go away. It's just a matter of trying to work out the footage, trying to find gaming footage for games from 1974, 5, and 6. It's just really super hard. I just can't find anything online. So I might just end up having to have photos of it, screenshots, and just talking about it. But I want to get started on that. And also I'm still going through my Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I'm up to Kid Chameleon. That's the next game.
I love that series, man.
What about yourself there, Carbon? What have you got coming up on your channel?
We're still doing Red Dead. I just actually finished editing one right before I came on here, and I got Stardew Valley on Mondays.
No boobies in that one?
No, not since that last video that I had to edit them out. The Stardew Valley Mondays, we got War for Cybertron with myself and Dongvers on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Although this week I screwed up and put Hitman Absolution first. But yeah, Hitman should be done soon, and then I think X-Men Legends will come out after that. But we'll have to see how many we get done, because it's another one with me and Torch. So.
Man, War for Cybertron was fantastic, and X-Men Legends kicked ass. Oh man,
we'll be doing Fall of Cybertron eventually too, but we're not going to do them back to back. We decided. But
Awesome.
I love those games.
Well,
Well done.
And other than that, maybe the odd tutorial every now and then, if I can find time.
oh, and just one thing before I end up the video. Yeah, your top video on your channel there, Carbonites Gaming. I always screwed that up.
I know.
Yeah, I know you know. Your top video is actually a tutorial on Vegas. Fallout Vegas.
New Vegas.
Yeah.
When I was doing the Let's Play, I lost the save file. Like the autosaves just kind of started screwing up.
Mm-hmm.
And just through trial and error, I figured out how to fix it. And it seemed at the time, there's a couple other videos now, but at the time, no one else had it. So it still gets a good amount of views a month. I love it.
What about you,
Nice.
Chunt? What's your number one most popular video on your channel?
Oh, it's probably one of my Gears of War Lancer unboxing videos that I've put up. I had the replica, like 1-to-1 scale chainsaw Lancers, and that lights up and all that kind of stuff. Those have done really, really well. I had a video that had like 20,000 or 25,000 views on it, but I had to remove it due to some copyright bull nonsense.
Man.
So that's kind of cut me a bit on the channel. I had another video uploaded today. I'll just to recap. I'll still be uploading stuff now while I'm sorting everything. I'll be documenting my setup around the house and just vlogging a bit. And just giving my opinions on things. Some game capture stuff that I've got organized coming. I have my computer set up, so I'll be able to do things, but I will be uploading a bit more frequently. But yeah, I'm kind of getting hit by some monetization issues at the moment. Like today,
Yeah.
I had one. So,
I hear you, buddy.
but yeah, Uncle Chunt everywhere.
And Retro Kaiser, what's your most popular video on your channel?
No one watches my stuff. For the Next Round Network, yeah, that's the name of the VidMe channel. It's me and a friend called Sendu. Us playing like a ROM hack of Sonic the Hedgehog where you play as Knuckles. Not Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 with Knuckles, but Sonic the Hedgehog 1. They modded Knuckles in there.
Oh, that's sweet. That'd be a
Cool.
pretty cool look. Yeah, oh, sorry.
Have you heard of Knuckles, and Knuckles?
I'm waiting for someone to say that.
Yeah. I think it was, I don't remember which channel. It might have been Funhouse. One time they played it on there. It was so stupid. I loved
Knuckles the Knuckles in Knuckles. Yeah, okay.
it. Yeah. I think it was what Sonic 3 they modded to have only Knuckles in it.
So if you were to ask YouTube what my number one video on my channel is, they will tell you that it's the Top Hat Gaming Man and me, where we're talking about retro gaming in Australia. But the most amount of watch time minutes for any of my videos is the unboxing of that retro compact Mega Drive that I picked up in Japan. Actually, you can see it right there, that one there.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Is it a lot better than this big chunking hulk of crap?
A toilet roll will be better than that thing. I wouldn't. I'm kind of curious to get their latest effort that's coming up.
Same. Me too.
It's not perfect, but at least it is looking like a Mega Drive 2. It's not just some random bit of plastic. That they actually did try to replicate it. And the only downside to that thing that I've seen so far, I'm not 100% sure if it's mono or stereo. I've been hearing that it's mono. That's
Same, yeah.
That's a downer. And the
Is it at least HDMI?
yes, it is. Whereas
It is. Oh, that's all right.
yeah, it is HDMI. Sorry, this this thing here that Karen's got, that's mono, and it's composite. But this will play Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the Japanese version, where my genuine Mega Drive will not. It's just really unfortunate that I've got to go through this to play my latest copy. Would you go? Anyway, I think that will do for the podcast. I want to thank you. That was random. I want to thank you guys for for coming on to today's channel. You can see I've I'm on this video. I'm still kind of nervous with doing these, so I'm still getting the hang of hosting these podcasts. But I think today's one went kind of well. Anyone watching this, if there's anyone out there, leave comments below. If you've got any questions for any of the guys, I will certainly forward them on through to the other channels. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, not only to my channel if you haven't already done so, shame on you if you haven't, but also to the other guys. Don't be afraid to have a look at their videos, and don't just like the videos, subscribe to the channel and hit that stupid notification button that YouTube insists that we must use, because I've got subscribers, they've told me that they're subscribed to my channel and they don't know when I'm releasing videos still, which defeats the purpose of being subscribed to begin with, doesn't it?
And I know there's also times where I've subscribed to a channel, I just can't find the video because of all the other subscribers I'm subscribed to.
No, I never use the home screen anymore. I go over to my subscription activity, and I hope to find what it is I'm after there. And I don't use PC for my YouTubing. I go to my Xbox or PlayStation to look at it on the bigger screen, so I'll get to see how ugly my YouTubers friends are really in HD.
And that's
hey
why
man,
I don't use a webcam.
that's nasty. You don't have to be like that. I mean, dude, come on.
You're not in 4K though, are you?
I can be. Do you want me to be in 4K?
Widescreen, 4K, surround sound, 3D.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yes.
All right, it's getting weird. My name's been Brian. Oh, by the way, I'd like to thank my patrons. I'll put their names up here towards the end. But if you want to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and all the other usual good stuff. I think it's time we got out of here. My name's been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. Thanks, guys.